Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Can't start no fire right now. We're under a burn advisory. It's been so daggone hot and dry. We've been under a drought for, I don't know, a couple months probably. So, I wanted to fix some coffee out here this morning. So what am I going to do? I am going to take my little military cook stove, and I am going to fire this little military cook stove up, and I'm going to fix me some coffee on my military cook stove, y'all. Alright, we got to prime this thing first, which is just a matter of, it pumps up like a Coleman stove. If any of you are familiar with a Coleman stove, it runs on white gas. Alright, get some fuel up in that little priming bowl. You'll hear this thing when it starts getting primed up good. Sound like an airplane taking off, y'all. When it does that, I'm going to open up the fuel valve and let some fuel up there and let it start cooking. Once it gets warmed up and heated up, and y'all hear it? It's trying to start. And that's just the fuel that I pulled up there in that little priming pan. Getting close. Just about there. There we go. Alright, we'll let that cook for a little bit, y'all, and then once that coffee gets done percolating, then I turn that stove off. I'll bring you back so you can hear me. Let that coffee settle down a little bit. Let all that water drip down through them grounds, and pour me some coffee here in a minute, and we'll just sit here and talk, y'all. I'm gonna make this a combo video. Just gonna do a little bit of talk out here this morning, and gonna do a fixed blade Friday while we're at it. I got 3 knives I'm going to show y'all. One is this little Mora I'm using right here. Carbon Mora. We'll talk about it in depth in a few minutes. I got a couple more, but sitting out here enjoying this weather, y'all, enjoying this sunrise, and back to my regular schedule at work. So I work 4 10-hour shifts, and then I'm off on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So I'm really blessed to be able to do that. For one, the only drawback with my job at all is fighting the traffic in Cincinnati, because I work over in Cincinnati, Ohio. And luckily, I get to go in early, because I start at 5 a.m. get off at 3:30. The only drawback ever from working over there has been fighting the daggone traffic. But going in at 5, there ain't very much traffic. And usually when I get off of work at 3:30, it ain't too bad. Every once in a while there'll be something crazy that happens, either coming or going, and traffic will be a mess. But working the shift I work, number one, I don't have to fight traffic 5 days a week. I only got to fight it 4 days a week, which is a big deal to me, y'all. Plus, I save about a week a month in gas because I'm only working 4 days a week instead of 5 now. So that's a big deal. So it's an overall blessing to me to be able to work 4 days a week. So I'm very thankful for that. I meant to do a thankful Thursday yesterday. Just ran out of time and didn't get it done. But I'm going to mention something here because I am very thankful. I just mentioned I'm thankful for my job and I'm thankful for the hours I get to work. I'm really thankful for that. But my biggest blessing in life, and I've probably said this before, and this is how I truly feel too, y'all, is my little wife. Me and that girl's been married going on 42 years. And she has absolutely been a blessing to me. I don't know what I would do without her. I'm just going to tell you right now, I say it all the time to folks that know me. I'd be a lost ball in high weeds without that girl. She is, and if you're friends with me on Facebook, you might see it once in a while because I put it on there and I mean every word of it. I think she's the greatest woman that ever walked the planet of the earth. And I truly, honestly believe that. She's put up with a lot from me, that's for sure. You know, and she is, we met in church, you know, and she is a absolutely good, God-fearing woman. She walks the walk, talks the talk. She has just been an absolute blessing to me, and I am so thankful for her. I got a lot to be thankful for, but I'm thankful to her. You know, other than the good Lord saving my soul, and the biggest blessing in my life has been her. And I mean that from the bottom of my heart. But anyway, y'all, I was going to do a Thankful Thursday on just Miss Jenny. I really was. And I may do that in the future. But I am so thankful for her. So thankful for our life together. You know, like I said, we've been married. It'll be 42 years in December, y'all. We got married, she was 17 years old and still in high school. One of the requirements of us getting married that early, her mom and dad made us promise that she would finish school, and she did. I used to take her to school in the morning when we first got married. And anyway, y'all, I'm just sitting out here playing around, cutting on this little spoon, and I have no idea what I'm doing. This is all a brand new first time thing for me, but this carving stuff kind of relaxing. And all of us like playing around with these knives, so let me show you these knives real quick that I brought out here this morning. This first one is just your little standard Mora. Take off this cut-proof glove, or cut-resistant glove. First one's just a little Mora, y'all. made in Sweden. It's carbon steel. It's just your standard little Mora. And for the money, I promise you, you can't beat these little knives. This thing's like, I don't know, it's under 15 bucks at Smoky Mountain Knife Works. Come with a little sheath. I wrapped some paracord on it. Put 3 little Ranger bands. If you don't know what a Ranger band is, all it is, you get a bicycle inner tube and cut you some pieces out of it. And talking about a rubber band that'll last a long, long time, that right there is. But I just put some paracord on there. There ain't a lot of paracord on it, but I just put some paracord on it. These sheaths are pretty neat because if you've got multiple knives, if you see right there, of course you're cutting with mine because I got the paracord over top of it, but if you didn't have that paracord, you could take another sheath just like this of a different knife and just clip it right there, and you got 2 knives hanging. Clip it on your belt, whatever. Anyway, that's a little more. The next one I got is a Mora Garberg. It's a little more expensive knife, but it is a full tang 1095 carbon steel is the one I got. Pretty thick blade, and I'm going to show you here in a second. Both of those little Moras will throw sparks to no end. I can't start a fire today because we're under a fire band in the county, and because it's been so daggone dry. We've been under a drought forever. We haven't had any rain here to amount to anything. It rained a little bit the other day, but just about enough to settle the dust, and that's it. There's big cracks in the yard. You can probably see the grass is dead as heck. But anyway, can't start a fire this morning. But this Garberg is an excellent knife. Fits my hand well. I think I would like it better with a different handle on it, but this handle's pretty good. It's a rubber type material, pretty non-slip. The tang actually extends beyond the handle. You can strike sparks with that. You can scrape fat wood with it. You can do all kind of stuff with that. But anyway, y'all, and both of these Moras, I just put an edge on them this morning. This one had a nick in it down here. I didn't quite get the nick completely out, but it's way better than it was. But I put an edge on them, stropped them up. And this one's got a really good 90-degree spine. The other one didn't have, but I took a file to it and made a 90-degree spine. But anyway, we're gonna use those a little bit today, and I'm gonna show them to you. And the last one I got, I don't know how many of you have seen these or have gotten these. This is an old Hickory. And I'll try to put all the information on these knives in this video. I'll take a screenshot and put it in the video. But this is an old Hickory. This is 1075 carbon steel. It is a full tang knife. But this is a hunting knife that they made. It's got like I think it's a 5.5 or a 5 1/4 inch blade. I hit it, made a 90-degree spine on it. Got wooden handles, and it's got the typical rivets like old Henry or Uncle Henry. Not Uncle Henry, I'm stupid. Old Henry knives it's got that typical brass rivet that's pounded in there. Anyway, y'all, I took a file to the back side of it too, and this is just a file steel that I got. Of course, I got some duct tape around the top of it, and I put a lanyard on it. That's the old Hickory. It'll throw sparks. Throw plenty to start a fire. All right. And both of these Moras will do it. We know the Garberg will. It was made to do it. But the little, and I don't even know the model number. I'll try to find it and put it in this video, but it'll throw sparks. Plenty enough to start a fire, I promise you. Of course, the Garberg will definitely throw them. But, and you can, like I said, you can throw them from down there too. Let's put this thing in here so I don't cut my dang self. Anyway, y'all, they'll definitely throw fire off the fire steel. There's a fire steel that I put a deer antler, shed antler that I found. Drilled a hole in it, put that fire steel in it. It makes it really good to hold on to when you're trying to, like, watch this, y'all. Well, this thing ain't been used very much, and it's all slick and shiny. Oh, about to set myself on fire, y'all. But anyway, got a place on it that wasn't all slicked up. Didn't have any kind of alright, y'all. Anyway, so the end of that deal, and that I really like this the way I made that fire steel. Put it in there. Yeah, I wasted that much of the fire steel. You know what? Even on the other one, you ain't gonna get it down where you need that much of it on the end. By that time, you're gonna need a new fire steel, I promise you, because it's gonna be all, it'll be broke down here somewhere because you used it so much. Anyway, y'all, just wanted to show you all those three. And budget knives, like I said, the one Mora that I showed you, 15 bucks, somewhere in that neighborhood. This one, when I bought it, was brand new. I only paid like, I think it was 25 bucks. Most places are out of stock. I think Ontario Knife Works, who makes Old Hickory, started making them again, because I got on their website yesterday to look, and I think they're like 35 bucks now. I think I paid 25, maybe 30 when I first bought it. But I bought it when they first came out. Like I said, this thing's 1075 carbon steel. It'll get razor blade sharp. Both of them Moras with that Scandi grind. If you hold that Scandi grind and you sharpen that knife with that Scandi grind like you always should, them things is easy to sharpen, fast to sharpen, and they will get wicked sharp in just a minute. Anyway, y'all, this coffee ought to be settled down. I'm gonna drink me some coffee and sit out here, and I'm gonna show y'all something else. Not today. I'm just gonna give you a preview of it today. Y'all see what I got on my wrist? If you've noticed in past videos, I've had a Samsung Galaxy Watch 4, and I like it. I really like it, like if I'm at work or something like that, because if I get a text message or something like that, my phone will alert me. I wanted to get one that wasn't dependent upon charging all the time. So when this world goes crazy, plumb crazy, it's close now. But when it goes plumb crazy and the electric grid goes down, which if I was a betting man, I'd bet money that that's going to happen in the not too distant future. I wanted a watch that I didn't have to charge. Well, I bought this Timex Expedition, and I'm going to show it to y'all in the future. But it's solar powered, and it's got a 4-month reserve battery. I guess if you was in a cave for 4 months, it'd still run for a while, you know. Anyway, if you're outside in the sun, this thing is charging the little battery in it, whatever. I liked that. It was only like 60 bucks or somewhere in that neighborhood, 65 bucks with tax, something like that. So I bought it. Anyway, I'm gonna drink me some coffee. All right, y'all, I'm just going to show you all these knives a little bit. Just look at this Old Hickory first. It comes with a leather sheath. It's not the best leather sheath in the world, but it's okay. You know, for $35 for the knife and the sheath. You can't hardly go wrong, y'all. Like I said, this thing gets sharp. You know, and this is a piece of maple that I cut out of this tree last weekend when I was messing around out here in the yard. I just saved it, and you know, it's sharp. Like I said, I think it's got like a 5 1/4 or 5 1/2 inch blade. And anyway, y'all see it there. It's old Hickory. Ontario Knife Works, made in the USA. You see where I threw them sparks on it a while ago. Full tang, wooden handles. Of course, it's got some fixing wax on them handles. Put it on there pretty liberally, and then took a rag and kind of buffed it up. But anyway, this thing's made pretty much like a old Hickory butcher knife. I did take a file, made that a little sharper edge so I could strike sparks with it or whatever. But anyway, y'all, pretty nice knife, and it'll get sharp, and it'll do whatever work you want it to do. It's an excellent bushcrafty type knife. I don't know that I'd go batoning and beating on it and all that junk. Of course, I'm not real big on batoning either. Anyway, I'd rather just take a little hatchet or a tomahawk or something like that if I want to need something to a little heavier use. You know, I mean, if this is the only knife you had and you were in a survival situation, you know, I don't know. I'm just not much for beating on a knife. But it would probably do it and be okay. You might knock the handles off of it because it's got them little rivets like old Hickory puts in everything, and they're not the greatest. It'd be better if it had a solid pin in it and had them peened over on the end. But anyway, y'all, that's the old Hickory. Then the little Mora, and you can see the sheath a little better. I just wrapped some paracord around it and put some Ranger bands on it. Just enough paracord to, if you had to have some cordage. But it's just the standard, and it's got a rat tail tang on it. It just comes up into there somewhere. But if you know anything about Moras, you know these are excellent knives, and they will get absolutely razor blade sharp. You see them little bitty curls flying off of there? As far as making feather sticks and that kind of stuff, these little knives here are incredible. And you see it's sharp. No problem stripping that bark. And I'm just barely putting any pressure down on it. I'm just letting the knife just slide through there. Anyway, y'all, little more. I don't know how long that blade is. I'm going to say it's a little over 3, somewhere in the neighborhood of 3 inches, give or take. And I'll try to find all the information put in the video. But that's the little Mora. That's a little standard, like $15. This Mora is like $100. When I bought it, I think I bought this one from Smoky Mountain Knife Works when me and Miss Jenny was on vacation one year. They did not have the leather sheath one. I'd rather have the leather sheath one, but this one's okay. This one's got quite a bit of paracord wrapped around it, and I got 3 Ranger bands on it just to hold the paracord in place. Pretty easy to deploy that paracord. Just take those Ranger bands off, and you can just reach and grab them and pull them. I mean, they're a piece of bike inner tube. But this knife here was made for bushcrafting. I think it's got like a, what is it, 4 1/2 inch blade, I think. The blade stock's pretty thick on it. It's 1095 carbon steel, full tang obviously. It's got the little end of it there that you can scrape fat wood or whatever you want it to with it. See how it scrapes that off of there? If you had a piece of fat wood, man, you can make some little bitty shavings with it in a hurry. You know, it will, I showed you before, it will spark. You can use it on a ferro rod. And this sucker here is definitely sharp. These things are really easy to sharpen. And this is a great blade here. I don't like to baton anything, but I would use this one to baton some. I mean, it's thick, full tang. I don't think you're going to hurt it. Not unless you're trying to split firewood with it, which if you're doing that, you're ridiculous anyway, in my opinion. You know, but as far as splitting something that size right there into kindling or something, you know, you could baton that and it ain't gonna hurt this knife. But I wouldn't get ridiculous with it and try to split firewood or something with it. Some people get a little crazy, especially some of these YouTubers, in my opinion, you know, and they're trying to torture test the knife. What they're trying to do is break the knife just to see if they can break it. I think that's ridiculous, in my opinion, you know, but that's just me. Anyway, y'all, it's a great knife. One of my favorite knives. And this knife has gutted some deer and stuff in the last few years. Skinned some deer, whatever. But anyway, just wanted to show them to y'all a little closer up. That's the Mora Garberg. Great knives. It's around 100 bucks. All right, y'all. Thank you for watching. Anyway, y'all, till I see y'all again, y'all have a great weekend, and God bless you.